From conception to airing, Till the End of the Moon has garnered a lot of attention and is one of 2023's most successful dramas to come out of China. Since its premiere on March 6, it has set a record for the highest viewership rate in 2 years among Chinese web dramas. Discussions about the combination of immortal fantasy with Chinese mythology, the fusion of modern special effects and Dunhuang aesthetics, and more, have mesmerized audiences across the drama genres. The cast and crew went through a lot of details and hard work to make the drama the success it is today. So in today's episode we will be spotlighting some of the brutal things everyone had to do on the set of Till the End of the Moon. Before we dive in, here is a rundown of what Till the End of the Moon is all about. Li Susu, played by Bai Lu, daughter of the Hengyang sect's leader, travels back 500 years to prevent Tan Taijin, played by Luo Yunxi, from becoming the devil god by extracting his evil bone. Li Susu takes over the body of Yi Shiwu, who is married to Tan Taijin, who is currently a hostage prince from the kingdom of Jing. Li Susu and Tan Taijin develop romantic feelings for each other, complicating the situation. Li Susu ultimately sacrifices herself to change Tan Taijin's fate and save the world. After losing Li Susu, Tan Taijin searches for her soul for 500 years and becomes a disciple of the Xiaoyao sect. Tan Taijin meets the reborn Li Susu, and they rekindle their love. However, the revelation of Tan Taijin's birth nature threatens the three realms again, putting the world in danger. To prevent the end of the world, Tan Taijin sets in motion a plan. The story involved many different and intricate aspects. Luo Yunxi revealed that when he saw Till the End of the Moon script for the first time, the feeling of excitement was beyond words, and he felt that he had made up a grand story in his brain. The story is complex and compact with many things happening at the same time. The Till the End of the Moon script is very brain-burning. Luo Yunxi said with a smile, "Thinking about it, I can hardly keep up with the description of the words. Our time and workload were highly saturated. Pretty much every scene was a big, important scene because our storylines were extremely complicated. There are 3 lives in the play and I have experienced life and death 3 times, 3 characters in one." Luo Yunxi says this is his most challenging project yet. "I've never had the experience of playing so many different roles in previous projects. Each character was very different from the other and Luo Yunxi's acting had to reflect that. To make matters worse, none of those characters' scenes were filmed in chronological order. They would shoot a lot of unrelated scenes, jumping from one timeline to the other, leaving the cast physically and emotionally drained at the end of each day. Filming was chaotic. There were a lot of scenes that needed to be filmed daily. They had to film well into the night to keep to the filming schedule and would often knock off very late, looking very tired and strung out. For nearly half a year, Luo Yunxi played all 3 in one day. He had to constantly shift and undergo transformation between roles. He was in a state of high concentration. Accurately capturing their characteristics and fully interpreting them were only the basic elements. Because sometimes, the last scene may have been filmed 2 months ago and you need to pick up the state of that scene from 2 months ago. This is actually a very big test and you must be completely clear in your mind. It got so bad I felt dizzy at times." Bai Lu had the same sentiments, adding that the shooting schedule was very chaotic as they had to keep track of the continuity between different scenes. "You must always know what state you will be in and which stage you're in," she concluded. During filming, Bai Lu had the experience of switching between 3 characters in one day. This meant constant change of outfits and hours in the makeup chair to achieve the look of each character. Of course, like every good Xinxia drama, Till the End of the Moon had its own fight scenes. To produce the best action scenes, Luo Yunxi did quite a lot of homework. Minji's weapon is a halberd/spear which is quite long and heavy. The martial arts director revealed that the weapon weighed 10 kilograms while Luo Yunxi himself was wearing 5 kilograms worth of armor. This particular scene was said to have taken 22 days to film. So imagine having to wear that armor and swinging that weapon for 22 days to get the perfect shot. It's exhausting. You do need to spend time practicing to make it look effortless. Core strength is very important to keep the body steady while doing wire work. Every spin I do, the friction and collision the weapon gives needs to look fluid, and the character must unite as one with the weapon. This can only happen if you put in the work, says Luo Yunxi. Luckily, his many years as a ballet dancer helped his action scenes look smooth and natural. I think it definitely helps, because learning to dance is also about learning to control your body. Then, based on your imagination and control over your body, you can produce the character's posture as it was written. You also have to watch the playback to determine when certain moves are too soft or over the top and make changes accordingly, he told a TV host in an interview. Not only did Luo Yunxi have to fight, he was also forced to face his fears. He said, "I'm actually afraid of heights, but, under safe conditions, I got myself to be more confident. To arrive on the battlefield, I had to make it look like flying down was a piece of cake. This has to do with my ballet training." The blood spitting. Is it even xinxia if there's no blood spitting? So, yes, for obvious reasons there was a lot of blood spitting. For context, because of Chinese censorship, they can't show too much gore, hence everything just becomes blood spitting. However, the actors until the end of the moon had to drink the mouth blood and spit it out in almost every episode, sometimes more than once in a single episode. Luo Yunxi remembers a particular scene that required them to spit out a lot of blood. So while filming close-up shots, we have trash bags placed over our costumes at spots that can't be seen. Bai Lu and Luo Yunxi spit out so much blood they set a new record for blood spitting. The last drama that had that much blood spitting was Love and Redemption. The lead character Sifeng coughed up blood an alarming 54 times in 59 episodes. A fan on Twitter counted all the times the two spit out the blood, and the total count for Bai Lu was 21 times in 40 episodes. For Luo Yunxi, the record is 60 times in 40 episodes. If you also add the behind-the-scenes footage, you will get the bloodiest xianxia ever made. Uncomfortable clothes and accessories. From where we were sitting, Yi Shiwu and Tan Taijin looked mesmerizing in their regal attires and headpieces. Luo Yunxi looked so incredibly attractive in his ancient costumes, netizens were calling for the Till the End of the Moon to weld them on his body. When Luo Yunxi heard that, his answer was a firm no. Welding would be impossible. Until the End of the Moon, I remember there were costumes with close to 20 layers. That was tiresome. I could never do that in real life, but I'd consider taking on more ancient costume projects. When asked if he would be jumping into another xinxia drama as soon as he was done filming Till the End of the Moon, he broke off into laughter, saying, tugging at his golden cape, "My shoulders, I felt like I was going to faint for a moment there." Well, if you take into consideration Luo Yunxi's very lean frame, he must have been having a tough time with all the extra layers of clothes. His love interest in the drama, Bai Lu, joined in saying, "I was in a lot of pain too from the hair ornaments. The headpieces are very heavy. Some quite stabby to the scalp. The day I became a goddess was very memorable." About my styling, there was especially Dun Huang, that crown weighed 5 kilograms, I couldn't even move my head. Bai Lu says, for the outfit to look good, there are 6 to 7 layers of clothes. Each layer is bound twice around the waist. It's hard to look very thin while wearing the outfit. Every piece of clothing is bound to the tightest, so I wasn't able to eat when wearing it. I think the requirements to look thin in a xinxia drama is higher. If you're not thin, how can you look fairy-like? During the filming of Till the End of the Moon, it was my lowest weight in recent years. I could see my ablining, I weighed 42.5 kilograms, but now I'm 45 kilograms. The two said their clothes were very heavy, that's why they held and supported each other during shooting. Another star who was burdened with the clothing is Deng Wei. When Chen Duling complimented his shell-covered outfit in one of the scenes, he said yes, it looked good, but added that the outfit had him hot and bothered, and not in good way. Those clothes were not cooling, there's 18 clothing layers. Xiao Shenyao, who plays Tantai Mingling, says, the clothes were so heavy it felt like they weighed 50 kilograms when he had to carry them around. Now I know how girls feel when they have to carry them as they walk on the red carpet. Kudos to them for making everything look so effortless even under extreme conditions. They cried a lot. Bai Lu recalled that there were too many heart-torturing experiences during filming. I kept crying, she confesses. Their favorite phrase on set was, "My eyes hurt." This was because they had a lot of sad scenes which required a lot of crying. After we finished crying and the director yelled cut, me and Luo Yunxi would face each other and sigh. When we open our eyes will be red and swollen, both of us will force a smile to each other and say, "My eyes hurt," explained Bai Lu. No wonder Bai Lu said she wanted to do something light after doing heavy angst for Till the End of the Moon. A monsoonal tears on and off screen is tasking for one's emotional health. The conditions weren't ideal. They started filming in the dead of winter, and whenever the cast was not in front of the camera, they were wearing the heaviest of bomber jackets to ward off the cold. It was so cold that in the scene between Tan Tai-jin and Yi Ching-yu, we could also feel the coldness judging from the amount of steam coming out of their noses and mouths whenever they exhaled. As if that wasn't enough, the Green Room Studios had wind blowers constantly blowing out cold air, which although necessary for some scenes it was taxing nonetheless. Bai Lu even commented on it, saying one of the most challenging things about doing Xianxia dramas is that they couldn't even act their emotional scenes in a quiet environment. There would be wind blowers and all sorts of noises on set. We couldn't even blink with them blowing air on us. It was actually very testing. Bai Lu says, it was very cold, because the shooting was in winter and my clothes were all the tulle that fairies wear, and the character Songjio mostly wore sleeveless clothes. A large blower was being blown all day, and at that time, my face and mouth were stiff, but I still had lines to say. Chen Duling even mentioned how Bai Lu braved the cold for Chen Duling's lines as well. We were both very cold at the time. Songjio's demonic costume was sleeveless too. Lulu had already finished her takes, but she still insisted on staying back to do her lines again for my takes. That made me feel extremely moved. The success of the production wouldn't have been possible without the relentless efforts of the 1,500 crew members who worked tirelessly for 162 days to ensure everything ran smoothly. Their dedication was evident in the meticulous attention to detail, especially when it came to matching Luo Yunxi's multiple characters with the perfect costumes. For the hostage prince, they crafted simple yet elegant outfits, while the king of Jing's attire mostly consisted of black, paired with other complementary colors. The devil god donned various shades of black, enhancing his formidable aura. Song Jiumin, being a cultivation disciple, followed the Xiaoyao sect's blue and white color scheme. Tan Tai-jin's transformation into a god required almost 20 layers of clothing, but the result was nothing short of splendid. Remarkably, all 2,500 sets of clothes, including 80 protagonist costumes, were meticulously handmade. Ms. Huang Wei, the costume director, emphasized the importance of costumes in shaping the drama. She explained how different colors and materials were thoughtfully designed to signify the changes and growth of the characters at various stages of the story. The visual effects directors shared their thorough process of conceptualizing designs from the early stages of preparation. They worked closely with the art crew to analyze the world and characteristics of each god and demon, creating 2 to 3 designs for essential props and spells to choose from. Many sets were built from scratch in Hengdian, and the production invested heavily, with hundreds of millions spent on constructing a whole new complex for the drama. They even planned to charge a separate admission fee for tourists visiting the filming locations. After watching all the behind-the-scenes footage, we really appreciate their hard work, dedication, and professionalism. Even though what we see on screen may be only a few minutes, the process takes hours of hard work and effort.